Let's take a look at the luxurious Hermes version of the Apple Watch Series 11. Real quick, if you want to keep up to date with the latest Apple news and reviews, hit that subscribe button. Every year, I make it a point to check out the latest version of the Hermes Apple Watch. And this year, it's even cooler because it marks the 10th anniversary of the iPhone maker and the fashion brand collaborating on this line of wearables. This year in particular, you can get the Series 11 in both the small and large sizes, as well as the Ultra 3 in the Hermes version. There's a few differences to look at, so I'm going to show you the watch and the band itself, and then I'm going to kind of just summarize up what you get specifically with the Hermes version that you don't get with the regular version of the Apple Watch. Let's dive in. So here it is, my new Hermes Apple Watch Series 11. Unlike the regular version of the Apple Watches, this comes in a very nice, bespoke Hermes style box. We have like the black borders along the top and embossed Apple Watch and Hermes logos here on the top of it. If we flip it over, you can see the exact model that we're working with, which is the Series 11, 46 millimeter, and it comes with two different bands that we'll be taking a look at. Let's go ahead and open it up. We just tip it to the side, and inside there, we will have two additional boxes. The first one is for the watch itself, and the second one is for the band that we paired with it. I'm really excited to talk about this band, so we'll save that for just a moment. Let's get into the watch. Real quick, I love the artwork here. It's just really cool. It just looks really nice, and you'll see that play out in the actual face on the Apple Watch with watchOS 26 too. Anyway, getting into it. Okay, that is really cool. I have owned and unboxed a number of the Hermes Apple Watches over the years, and this is the coolest little, first look that I have seen among them. Like, this is just adorable. So we have the watch here. This is kind of like your getting started guides, but check it out. The windows here on like the storefront, it says Hermes in the center. That is so cool. So we can slide this out. I love kind of like even the color shift as we're pulling those out. Okay, and that is also really neat. You can actually see through those little windows, see a little music player, boombox situation, like the little person, a cake. This is so cool. I love this. This is such a neat little touch for this watch. This is all to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Apple and Hermes working together. This is like their Faubourg party designs, and they're just really cool. So here, this is actually your secondary Apple Watch band. Not only do you get the one you pair it with, but you also get a second sport band in the Hermes orange color. Inside the rest of the box is what you're going to expect. You're going to have your Apple Watch puck over here. Nothing different or unique about this one. It's going to be the same fast charge Apple Watch puck that all the others have. And then we have the watch itself, and we'll take a look in a second. Upon setup, this is one of the first little touches you'll notice. It'll actually give you an orange little swirl here instead of the regular white one, so just an acknowledgement that it is the Hermes edition of this watch as you go through setup. The sport band is Apple's traditional sport band fare, and it has a little metal pin to seal everything up. This is the medium large size that I got for mine. It's definitely on the bigger side. I feel like a lot of people can get by with just the small to medium version of this. Aside from coming in the very vivid Hermes orange color, the only other difference with this Apple Watch band is that it does say Hermes Apple Watch on the inside of that little metal pin. That is basically the only difference. Other than that, it is Apple's kind of typical sport band, but it's nice that you get this option because if you were using any of the Hermes leather bands or their twill bands or any of the others, you don't necessarily want to be using those in the gym. So this way you're immediately getting that extra value. You're getting an extra sport band that's still going to match your version of the watch that's kind of exclusive to this watch that you can use in more rough and tumble environments that you wouldn't want one of the luxury bands to be exposed to. Let's move on to the band. This is one of the new ones that has launched with the Series 11 in the Ultra 3 versions. The band that I picked up is the Faubourg Party stainless steel buckle. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm very excited to be checking this one out. Let's go ahead and open it up. Get our nice little Hermes box here. Now these ones compared to regular ones, they also come in these little pouches versus just being kind of inside paper. So you can see we have the box, and then there is this little soft, it used to be more like a microfiber. I'm not sure what material it's made of now. It doesn't feel as cottony as it kind of used to be, but it is also nice to be able to put it into something for maybe travel. So that's a nice little touch that Hermes Apple Watches always had. It splits open, the watch is in two pieces here, and then you have kind of some of the getting started guides, whatever else, kind of paperwork up there at the top. But let's go ahead and remove the bands itself. You can see is this very cool blue color. You can see it has like that building storefront style design, really paying homage to the early Hermes days and the partnership with Apple. This is really cool, and of course it pairs very well with the new watch face on the Apple Watch itself. A couple just little details here. This is all woven, feels very nice. Apple has largely moved away from leather, so all of the ones you buy through Apple are not leather. They have like twill, there's silicone. There's some really, really cool ones that I love for the Ultra that only come in the 49mm size. They would still work on this one, but they're designed more for the Ultra that just look really, really sleek. Like their Scoop H watch band and a couple others, but I like this one a lot too. Stainless steel buckle to go with it. Has Hermes stamped right there or engraved there in the actual buckle head. We turn it around, you see just patterned here, texture on the back. Feels really nice, just feels like a very high quality band. Let's go ahead and put this on our Apple Watch now that it is done syncing with my iPhone. The band also has this little bit of stitching underneath, which is another little nice touch. As many know, one of the benefits of the Hermes version of the Apple Watch is the exclusive faces that come with it. Anyone can buy many of these bands and add them to any version of the Apple Watch, but the faces you can only get on the Hermes versions of the wearable. We're going to go into edit our watch faces, go to the plus button here at the end, and we're going to scroll down the list. Apple in watchOS 26 has broken these down into different sections. So we have, health and fitness, photos, clean styles, data rich. But for this version, we also have the Hermes collection available to us. When I tap into this, you can see all the different ones. So we have the Hermes Faubourg Party. That's the big one this year that they've been really highlighting. We can scroll through and see some of the other ones. The Radial is sleek. The Lucky Horse was added, I think, a year or two ago, maybe. The Circuit Age version. We have several different ones that you can choose from. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Faubourg Party design. So this is it. You can see when it's in this off state, it very much matches the band that I paired with it. It's just kind of like that storefront, very iconic. And then when you wake it up and it's in the active state, it jumps down and goes to an animation. There are actually 24 unique animations here, so you're gonna get different looks kind of all throughout the day as you pick it up. I'm gonna go ahead and cover it, put it in like that standby mode, tap it again to wake it up. We're gonna go into another one. There's yet another cool animation here. These all look really, really neat. Like this is just a really fun phase. Is it gonna be the reason someone's gonna pick this up specifically? No, of course not. Like this is just all software here, and you can kind of make your own looking Hermes faces and get the band to pair with it. So this is not wholly a reason just to buy this very expensive version of the Apple Watch, but it's still really cool. And it's just it feels also very classic Apple. Like I love the little animations and I love the artwork here that they've done in their partnership with Hermes. These are just really sleek, stylish faces. I know a lot of people are going to love them. They're going to be picking up this watch for these reasons. I also love this, the dog cow that goes back to very earlier versions of macOS. Claris, I believe his name, that makes a little kind of unique appearance on this watch face because again, celebrating the 10 years of Hermes and Apple working together on these luxury versions of the Apple Watch. And honestly, the prices have kind of come down compared to where they used to be. So quite a bit more approachable than the Hermes versions used to be. I'm not saying they're mass market and everyone's picking them up. I mean, they're still easily, over $1,000 for these and much higher. So yeah, but still, it's really cool. And I love these faces on it. So are there any other differences with the Hermes version of the Apple Watch? No. And that is really by design because there's not any functional or health features that a luxury Hermes version is getting. It is purely about style. So you're going to get the titanium version in either small or large size. It does say Hermes underneath, so there is an actual identifier on the watch, not just in the software, that it is the Hermes version. This is the titanium. There is no aluminum version of the Hermes, purely titanium. You can either get in this polished titanium for the Series 11, or as I mentioned, the Ultra 3 comes in an Hermes version this year with several different band options. Also, look, there's a little apple there, also super cool. But Yeah, you're not going to get anything else different. It's going to have everything, all the gestures, all the health features that the other versions of Apple Watch has. You're going to just get the clout that comes with owning an Hermes Apple Watch. To summarize, what do you get with the Hermes version of the Apple Watch that you don't get with the regular version of the Apple Watch? To start, you have the more luxe, premium unboxing experience. The boxes, the storage, everything is just much nicer. It's very pleasant to walk through, which is important with kind of high fashion status symbol items. You also get the little kind of carrying pouch that you could bring with you to easy to store that band and keep it nice. On top of that, you get 2 bands in the box. You get the one that you chose in that actually partners with it with a bunch of different styles, and you get the sport band. So you get 2 bands bundled in at no additional charge. Then you have the little Hermes touches everywhere. The fact that it says like Hermes etched on the back of the band, an exclusive colorway. You have Hermes etched on the back of the Apple Watch itself to denote it as an official Hermes product and not just, one with the face that you put on there yourself. It is specifically Hermes. Finally, probably most important of all, you get the exclusive watch faces. There are 6 faces that you get this year thanks to watchOS 26 and the new updates and everything. They look really cool. You can obviously make your own kind of Hermes-inspired orange faces in watchOS, but you're not going to get all the little cool animations that make this so special. Now, all this together, does it make it worth it? It's a fashion item. You're not paying for kind of this, you're paying for the status, the symbol, the clout of it. You're paying for fashion and style. Yes, you can buy the band separately, make your own faces, all of those things, but there are those people that want the fashion item, and for them, I think this year delivers more value than they have in the past. But again, it's not about value. It's about the fact that you want an Hermes item, and this year's looks really cool. Let me know what you think of this down below in the comments, the new bands, the new watch faces, the new styles, all of that. Make sure you follow for more Apple news, and I will see you all in the next video.